Why is it that some musicians spend their whole lives chasing the stage, while others seem to trip and fall into it by accident? Why is it that some folks out there barely know 3 chords and somehow end up on a tour, while others bleed this craft and still get ignored? Why is it that the old days, the talented floated right to the top, and now the industry seems to manufacture what it needs? Well, tonight we're talking about something a little heavier than gear, heavier than the miles, heavier than the grind. Tonight we're going to talk about identity, purpose, calling, and the truth behind who's built for this life and who's built by the machine. Welcome back to Ivory's After Dark. This is season 2 for my 50 subscribers. If you don't know me, I'm your host, Jack Rivers. Depending on who you ask, I'm either a real musician, a threat to the ones built by the industry, instead of born for it. And I'm inviting you to pull up a chair, pour something honest, and step right here back into Ivory's After Dark. You know the lights are going to be low, and the notes are going to be real, and the truth will live somewhere between these keys. We're going to take a break from the Matrix for a little bit and listen to the gospel of 88 keys, stories and scars and songs for anyone still chasing the honest sound. Let's talk about the world we came from. Maybe not all of us. Some of us. You know, the 70s and 80s. And live music wasn't a luxury. It was the backbone of going out, nightlife. The bars ran, 6, 7 days a week. And there was residencies, house bands, working musicians everywhere. I mean, you could be a mediocre player and still make a full-time living because the demand was high. And people wanted real sound in that room. It wasn't about perfection. It was just presence. Everybody was playing everywhere. I've heard the stories, 6, 7 days a week. Now we fast forward to today. What's going on now? Half the venues replaced the bands with playlists. The other half want 4 hours of music at the price of, a gas station sandwich. Live music used to be the feature, and now it's background noise. You go into a bar, there's cornhole over here, pool league over there, Joey Bag of Donuts plunking on his guitar over there. It's already divided. They're there for the food specials and the flat screen TVs, and the stage got smaller. The standards got lower. The industry shifted from passion to packaging. Now, there are 3 kinds of musicians. We're going to talk about them. We've talked about them before, but bear with me. You have the hobbyist. They play for joy. They play for relief. They have the day job, no shame. This lane is beautiful. Then there's category 2. These are the lucky ones. Decent players. Nothing special. They're just right place, right time. Someone quit, someone overdosed. The door cracked open, and boom, they're on tour, giving me every reason to believe that old cliche, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So, and then there's the last, is the ones that were born for it. The music, they didn't choose it. The music chose them. They have the soul, the charisma, the writing, the presence, what do they call that? The X factor thing. I don't even know what that is. But their life never made sense to do anything else until they picked up an instrument or stepped out on stage and just realized it was like a fish in water. See, people confuse passion with purpose, and they confuse hobby with calling, and they confuse opportunity with destiny. And not everyone who plays music was meant to build a life around it. And I'll tell you, those that are pursuing it, they'll tell you it is a grind, a daily grind, but they love it. Not everyone who makes it was built to keep it. And some are born with fire, and others borrow a lighter, right? See, back then, the cream rose to the top naturally. Everybody was getting a record deal. Everybody was playing. There wasn't backing tracks. There wasn't auto-tune. There was no digital safety nets. If you couldn't deliver, you didn't get the slot. Some of the bands that are, playing around back then might have not got the slot, but now it doesn't matter. You had to earn the room with nothing but presence. Now, today, well, talent is optional. Packaging is essential. You don't need to sing. You just need to fit an image. Teams of writers are waiting. Teams of stylists. Teams of digital editors. Teams of PR and all this other stuff who, their job is to hold a star together who doesn't actually shine. The star doesn't need a soul. They need a brand. Branding is everything. Marketing is everything. It's not about talent anymore. People aren't buying concert tickets. They're buying shows, lights, fires, dancers, costumes, narratives, choreography. And here's the bomb. People are paying high-dollar tickets just to watch somebody come out half naked, jiggle their ass cheeks. That's a problem, baby. Who doesn't like a nice ass? But when that is the focal point, see, that's not a concert, that's a distraction. That's a machine praying you won't notice the absence of soul. I remember watching, you can YouTube it now, 4 guys, Queen, come out on Wembley Stadium, the Farm Aid. It wasn't pyrotechnics and all this other stuff. 4 men went out there and killed it in front of hundreds of thousands. Raw talent, no auto-tune, no pyrotechnics. But you see, there's something else going on here, something bigger than the stage. When the industry pays millions to turn shock into entertainment, that doesn't just influence adults. It shapes the kids. A 13-year-old copies what they might see at one of these shows, not because they understand it, but because we normalized it. And it's not rebellion, it's instruction. I'm not preaching or condemning, I'm not shaming expression of art. I guess what I'm saying is there's a big difference between trend and the writing on the wall. When culture rewards spectacle, kids imitate spectacle. When money rewards broken standards, kids inherit those standards. Music used to teach authenticity. Now half the industry teaches performance with nothing underneath. Kids don't need more spectacle. They need soul. Want to follow something? Follow that heart and soul. See, talent isn't skill. It's soul language. The difference between singing and saying something, it's playing notes and telling the truth, moving the crowd and moving the room. So you can buy lessons, but you can't buy presence. If music makes you happy, You're a hobbyist, and that's beautiful. If music makes you whole, you're deeper in. If music keeps you alive, if you feel wired for it, then you weren't built by them. You were built for this. Built for it. So you see, some musicians get manufactured. Some get carried. Some get lucky. Some get molded by money. But the ones who are born for it, they rise when the dust settles. A product fades, but a real artist endures. Now, there is a cost of staying true. And here's what maybe some never really see. They see the grit. They don't see the scars. They see the fire, but maybe they don't see what that fire cost. Real artists they'll walk away from shortcuts. They turn down the mold. They refuse to sell the truth cheap. Taking the high ground, integrity often feels like the lonely road of obscurity. Not for the sake of it, but if a machine can't survive loneliness, a product can't survive the desert. Only someone built for this can walk through both and still stand. That's the question. If you can still stand, are you still standing? Sometimes I have my days where I'm like leaning against the wall, catching my breath. But music will always return to truth, craft, soul, and character. Culture might forget, but eventually the world remembers the real musicians and the real musicians that move people with nothing but a voice and the truth underneath it. As for the manufactured stars, well, they fade like neon in daylight. Simple. Going back to, are you still standing? Some musicians are born, some are built, some get lucky, some get packaged. But the ones built for this life, they endure. Your job isn't to resent the other lanes. Your job is to recognize your own. And if you were built for this, well, you already know. And if you weren't, you've got nothing to prove. You live your truth, not the industry's illusion. Welcome back, folks. I've missed you. It's been cold. It's still cold. But thank you for leaning in tonight. And thank you for sitting with me. And thank you for walking through the heart and history of music with me. And this has been Ivory's After Dark. I've been your host, Jack Rivers. Welcome to another episode. And next time, maybe we'll shine a spotlight on something else in the industry. But it'll be the same piano, the same chair, a different conversation.